Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It is a Monday morning, a great Monday morning here in East Tennessee. As I told you last week, we have some real good friends in from Florida that are having a wonderful time relaxing in some of this cooler weather that we've been experiencing in the mornings, and a very mild afternoon in most cases with a drop in humidity, which has been welcomed. So on we go with another week of craziness that we see throughout the world. But in other areas, we're talking finally talking to Trump. Will be having a meeting in Alaska this week. We haven't determined what day yet. I'm sure they'll keep that very close to the vest as they move along with that. But I have no high hopes that Zelensky would even be part and parcel to coming to a deal. We have the little man himself in his dirty shirt showing up for different areas of the world to beg for money. Still, he's running around Europe looking to find donors that will keep his little war going. This is a man that was president of the Ukraine, but you have to really understand in the great length of things that he doesn't want to give up the presidency. He has canceled an election, which means there is nobody to run against him. His entire cabinet of ne'er-do-wells that are sitting there hoping and praying for peace are at the mercy of him showing up even. Now, he'll rant and rave that nothing can be accomplished or written down unless he's there, but then he'll find an excuse, like he did in the White House with our president, to totally embarrass himself in front of the entire world by not accepting what he came to sign. And he was quickly ushered out of that White House, and if it were me, I would have put a boot in his rear end on the way out the door, but we have some kind people that just told him, no breakfast for you, get the hell out. And then you have the idiots that are sitting in our Congress today with ideas of Trump derangement syndrome that are so infected with that they can't think about anything but their next plot to take back over the government, socialize everything, and make you work for them, and to pay people that want to sit home and do nothing. Let's take a look at Jamie Raskin and his, I think, advanced stage of TDS, because he is just out of his mind. And he's always been a mouth in our Congress that was against anything that would have been beneficial to or his constituency or anyone else's. So let's take a look right here.
Facts are under attack. Knowledge is under attack. Research is under attack. The truth is under attack. And free speech is under attack by Donald Trump and by the government.
Jamie Raskin, Democrat Congressman of Maryland. TDS diagnosis is stage 7. Terminally ill.
I mean, he literally tries to purge the fact of his 2 impeachments
Yep.
from a museum exhibit. They try to purge the words climate change from anywhere in government computers, online, any websites. They're trying to take that down. They're trying to completely rewrite the history of January 6th, rewrite the history of the 2020 election, rewrite the history of the Civil War. You know, there are very fine people on both sides when there's an anti-Semitic riot in Charlottesville. It is the progressives who are standing up for history, who are standing up for facts, who are standing up for the truth.
Did you hear him?
It is the progressives who are standing up for history, who are standing up for facts, who are standing up for the truth. You know, there are very fine people on both sides when there's an anti-Semitic riot in Charlottesville.
The fact-checking site Snopes finally debunking Democrats' claims that then-President Trump in 2017 called neo-Nazis and white nationalists, quote, very fine people.
You know, there are very fine people on both sides.
Snopes now labeling that claim false, writing, quote, in a news conference after the rally, Trump did say there were very fine people on both sides, referring to the protesters and the counter-protesters. He said in the same statement he wasn't talking about neo-Nazis and white nationalists, who he said should be condemned totally.
Oh, imagine that.
It is the progressives who are standing up for history, who are standing up for facts, who are standing up for the truth.
Too much drinking, aye. Whoa, 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 whoa. Be careful. Yeah. Stay. Yeah, hey,
Jamie Raskin keeps these things going, and there you go. And that'll bring us into another TDS maimed individual that is now over there living into the great country of Ireland, which some of my ancestors come from. And she is not liking living there, but she won't come back until Trump is out of office. This is the woman that said that Trump would never be president, ever. Back in the days where she sat on The View and had ideas that weren't exactly cogent ideas. But let's take a look at old Rosie right here.
Listen, he annoys me on a multitude of levels. He's the moral authority. Left the first wife, had an affair. Left the second wife, had an affair. Had kids both times, but he's the moral compass for 20-year-olds in America. Donald, sit and spin, my friend. I don't enjoy him. No.
Rosie is a loser.
What will you do if he becomes president? Are you time to leave the country?
That's exactly what I did.
He will never be president.
What would you do if he did?
He will never be president.
You can't take these fortune tellers seriously.
Black out the system. Black out the system.
What the hell are you talking about?
Black out the system. Black out the system.
Yeah, a little creepy. Mm-hmm.
She'll never learn. She'll never learn. She'll just keep on making the fool of herself that she really is, lying to people, and she fits right in with her Democratic ilk that are trying to lie us to death, even in over the gerrymandering thing that's taking place in Texas. You've got Beto O'Rourke, a 3-time loser, when you stop and think about the fact that he's run for office, various offices on 3 different occasions, and the voters have said resoundingly no. What about no? Didn't he understand? But here he is back because he is now all recharged by man Danny in New York and the other idiot that's up in Minnesota that's a Somalian that thinks that he is going to turn the United States into Somalia because there's where their loyalty lies, in the countries that they came from. Why in the world are they here, and why in the world are we electing them into a seat in our Congress? It makes no sense at all. And if you watched on this gerrymandering thing by Jesse Waters had plenty to say about it, and it was all gerrymandering began with a guy by the last name of Jerry in way back in Massachusetts when they decided to make that state a dyed-in-the-wool forever Democratic state, which it stayed that way for the longest time. But let's take a look here at Beto trying to convince you that gerrymandering and everything to go with it is bad. The state of Texas will take care of itself. That's where the home of the Cowboys are. Don't fool with the Cowboys. Take a look here.
We've got to stop them in whatever ways they're trying to attack these people, because they're standing up for all of us.
So, as we mentioned, you're helping to cover the costs for these Democrats who fled. You did the same thing in 2021 when Democrats fled the state over a voting bill. They ultimately returned and the bill was passed. Yet at that time, you spent over $500,000. I mean, we could see a similar scenario this time around. Is it worth it?
Absolutely. You know, if we fail, the consolidation of authoritarian power in America will be nearly unstoppable. That means more masked, plainclothes federal agents without badges or warrants sweeping our fellow Americans up off the streets. That means more masked, plainclothes federal agents without badges or warrants sweeping our fellow Americans up off the streets. Sweeping our fellow Americans up off the streets.
Really?
Fellow Americans.
These people are sick. These people are sick.
It means more retribution and persecution and even violence for Trump's political opponents. And it also means that a Republican majority Congress with these 5 stolen seats, if we allow them to succeed, will roll out the royal red carpet for a Trump third term. So this is literally for all the marbles. We'll roll out the royal red carpet for a Trump third term.
That's a real thing that can happen?
Of course.
No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of the president more than once.
But critically, there's this little noticed loophole in the way that the 22nd Amendment is written, because the amendment says no president shall be elected to the presidency more than twice. But there are other ways to become president other than being elected president. One such way is you can be the vice president, and the president can step down or resign or be impeached, and you could ascend to the presidency that way. And technically you weren't elected president in that case.
So that'll bring us into an exit that we like to take every day here, and it's called the exit to Stupid Town. And we've got quite a few things to show you today, so I'm not going to labor on it, but we'll get it put in for you, and hopefully you'll get a smile and a laugh. So let's take this exit right here.
Okay, guys, quick update. Insider just told me there is a lot of activity getting ready to go down right now. They are getting people in position as we speak. I had a follower reach out to me regarding the military base that she lives on, and she said that there is a lot of activity there. Our base has a lot of activity. There have been 4 Black Hawk helicopters, several jets, and several C-4s full of equipment taking off today. I'm hoping that today is the day. However, it may be tomorrow, but it looks like they're moving very quickly and they're taking this seriously. So be on the lookout. I will update you as soon as I can. Insider said it is time for us to initiate. Okay? So let's do this, guys. Let's do it.
Really? Diarrhea?
And, you know, listen, you can narrow or widen the aperture as much as you want. But whether you're looking at small-scale local stories or the biggest picture stories about what's happening in our country, the story is the same, and it is now an undeniable thing. We have crossed a line. We are in a place we did not want to be, but we are there. The thing we were all warning about for the last few years is not coming, it is here. We are in it. It's August, it's a Monday, every day the sun rises and the sun sets, and there are, sports and movies, and there are new hit songs, there are scandals here and there are crimes. Life has not stopped, and none of our personal lives have stopped. But also, at the same time, life in the United States is profoundly changing.
Oh, crap.
Is profoundly different than it was even 6 months ago.
Oh, crap.
Because we do now live in a country that has an authoritarian leader in charge.
Oh, crap.
We have a consolidating dictatorship in our country. Imagine the cartoon-level caricature of what you think a dictatorship looks like.
This Rachel Maddow, what does she have? She's got nothing. She gets no ratings. All she does is to talk about Trump, 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 Trump.
I was just talking to a friend about this, but finding communism truly has given me such a sense of hope and curbed that bleak hopelessness about the future for me, because it became abundantly clear that the problem is capitalism and the antidote to capitalism is communism. So it felt like I found the answer. And the answer hasn't necessarily been applied, but I'm someone who comes from a place of what is the problem and what is the solution to the problem, not what is the solution to the symptoms that come from the problem. And once I learned that capitalism is the problem and communism is the solution to solve the problem, it all fell into place. And before that, it was like I was believing in Band-Aids for these symptoms that come of capitalism. But now we have the cure. Now I understand what the cure is for it. So if you're feeling hopeless about the future and about the world, I really do recommend learning about communism.
This one guy called me gorgeous, and then maybe a minute later, my mom goes, "Oh my God, those other two guys were just looking at you." And I was like, "Mom, it's okay." And she was like, "They called you mommy." And I was like, "Yeah, Mom, that's something that people say. It's fine." But I guess I didn't hear them, so my mom told me about it. But there was this one guy in particular who was like wanting to buy me drinks, and he was like following me around everywhere because I like to like go to different machines. He couldn't stop hugging me. He even gave me $20 for my machine. Like, it's fine. At first I thought it was like friendly, it was fine, okay, cool. But then he started saying things like, "I like you a lot," and like looking at me like that. I'm just like, oh my God.
Let me ask you something. If a pregnant woman is killed and the baby dies too, why is the killer charged with a double homicide?
Well, because people have different beliefs.
It's not about belief, it's about truth. Science confirms life begins at conception.
Whoa, whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
As a non-practicing white, I'd like to just throw this out there because I feel like maybe there's like a phase that everyone goes through before they finally hit like non-practicing white, and I feel like it's like whites in recovery. I'm a recovering Caucasian.
Well, that's Stupid Town for us today, folks, and I hope and pray that you all have a wonderful day, a blessed week. And as I tell you all the time, do not let them have you live in fear. It's the Democrats' job to make you fear everything, and they're aided and abetted totally by mainstream media who carry the banner and the propaganda for that particular side of the party, with a handful on the right that do the same thing. So do not live in fear. Hold your head up, and remember, we tell you every day here, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for more information. We'll be back to you here tomorrow, Tuesday, with some more news and maybe some more laughs as we go. So with that, God bless you all. Bye-bye now.